Hi, I'm Frank Lesser, a comedy writer.
I will absolutely give my return.
Kinda, sort of, accidentally started an international tax march.
You know, the only one that cares about my tax returns are the reporters.
To demand Donald Trump's tax returns.
I will release my tax returns.
And I did not mean to do it.
I'm not releasing the tax returns because, as you know, they're under audit.
74% of Americans think Donald Trump should release his tax returns. It's a normal ask that's not crazy. We're not asking to see his birth certificate. We as citizens have a right to know whether the president is benefiting from any of his decisions and to see where his money's coming from and perhaps who he owes it to, or, you know, the sources. It started when I was at a local coffee shop that I go to write. And when I write, I tend to procrastinate, I think, as most writers do. This was 2 days after the inauguration, 1 day after the Women's March. Kellyanne Conway said that Trump was never going to release his tax returns.
He's not going to release his tax returns. We litigated this all through the election. People didn't care. They voted for him. And let me make this very clear. Most Americans are very focused on what their tax returns will look like, not what his look like.
So then I tweeted something that I actually at the time thought was like kind of an angry-ish joke. I wrote, Trump claims no one cares about his taxes. The next mass protest should be on tax day to prove him wrong. Of all my tweets to go viral, I really would have preferred a comedy tweet. Something about that really resonated with people. So then Billy Eichner retweeted it and said, yes, I'm in! And then Patton Oswalt retweeted and said, I endorse this 100% in all caps, so you know people are serious when they write in all caps. Other people started retweeting my tweet, retweeting Patton's tweet, and there were people like J.K. Rowling, Michael Moore, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself, George Takei retweeted it. Oh yeah, Neve and Max from Catfish retweeted it. This really did strike a chord with a lot of people, and right now hundreds of thousands of Americans are planning tax marches on April 15th in over 120 cities in America and in other cities across the world, in Tokyo, London, Stuttgart, Germany, New York, LA, San Francisco, Chicago. There's even going to be a march at Coachella. Coachella's still a thing. Every president in the last 40 years has released their tax returns, including Richard Nixon, who was under audit. You might recognize him from Futurama.
Time for Dickie to get tricky.
And that's when he famously said,
well, I'm not a crook.
Well, the big question is Donald Trump a crook? Well, one of the more amusing things that is going to be happening at the march is 10-foot tall, 15-foot tall, up to 30-foot tall inflatable Trump chickens. I think there's about a 30% chance that Donald Trump actually tweets about that, and hopefully people will stand out and get selfies in front of it. I think it's important to have some humor where you can in protests, because humor makes some of this stuff a little more accessible for people. One, I think it's very fitting that at least one giant anti-Trump protest started out as a series of angry tweets, because that's how Trump got his start. Boom.